In Africa's sun-drenched plains, where the golden grass stretches as far as the eye can see, legends are born not just among people but in the wild, where the drama of life and death unfolds every day beneath the vast open sky. Here, lions rule as kings, their roars echoing across the land, commanding respect from every creature that shares their domain. Among these rulers, two names stand above all: Scarface, the one-eyed monarch of the Masai Mara, whose battered visage tells a story of countless battles and unwavering determination, and the Mapogo coalition, the infamous brotherhood of the Sabi Sands, a force of nature made up of 6 powerful males who changed the fate of every pride they encountered. Scarface was a solitary king, patrolling his territory alone, his scar a symbol of survival and resilience in a world where only the strongest endure. The Mapogos, 6 brothers bound by blood and ambition, brought chaos and dominance wherever they roamed, rewriting the rules of lion society with their brutal tactics and unmatched teamwork. Scarface embodied the strength and courage of the individual, a lone warrior who faced adversity head-on, never backing down from a challenge. The Mapogos, on the other hand, were the unstoppable force of unity, their combined power making them nearly invincible as they conquered territory after territory. Their stories are etched into the very soul of Africa, each representing a different path to power, one through solitary resilience, the other through brotherhood and cooperation. Today we'll explore their reigns, their legacies, and imagine what might have happened if these titans ever clashed. Would the lone king outwit the brotherhood, or would unity triumph over individuality? Join us as we compare the lone warrior to the brutal brotherhood, delving into their stories, their battles, and their impact on the wild, and ask, who was the true king of Africa's wild heart? Scarface's legend began with a wound, a deep gash over his right eye, earned in a brutal fight as a young lion. Instead of ending him, the scar became his signature, a mark of toughness and survival. In the Masai Mara, Scarface rose alone, outlasting rivals and coalitions to rule for over a decade, an extraordinary feat for any lion. He patrolled his territory with quiet authority, relying on experience and intelligence rather than brute force. Scarface's resilience was unmatched. He survived injuries, attacks, and even spear wounds from humans. Despite his scars and limp, he defended his pride, the Four Musketeers, with unwavering courage. His fame spread worldwide, drawing tourists and filmmakers eager to witness the legendary king. Scarface became a symbol of survival, proving that true strength lies in heart and willpower. His story reminds us, endurance and spirit can defy even the harshest odds. In the heart of South Africa's Sabi Sands, a legend was born. The Mapogo coalition, 6 powerful male lions, emerged from the shadows, forever altering the balance of power in the wild. Their arrival was not just noticed, it sent shockwaves through the entire ecosystem as every animal sensed the change. Their takeover was swift and brutal, toppling established prides and dismantling the old order. The Mapogos didn't just claim territory, they instilled fear, establishing a reign of terror that would be remembered for generations. Their strategy was ruthless yet effective: eliminate all rivals, including defenseless cubs, to ensure only their bloodline would survive. No other coalition had ever been so relentless in pursuit of dominance. Over the course of their conquest, it's estimated they killed more than 100 lions, an unprecedented number that left even the most experienced wildlife researchers in disbelief and awe. Each brother brought something unique to the coalition. Makulu, the wise and steady leader, and Mr. T, infamous for his aggression, were the most notorious. Together with their brothers, they formed an unstoppable force, each lion playing a vital role in their rise to dominance. United, the Mapogos controlled a territory larger than any single lion could ever hope to defend. Their teamwork allowed them to patrol vast stretches of savanna, keeping rivals at bay and expanding their influence with every passing day. Other animals learned to keep their distance. The Mapogos' roars echoed across the plains, a warning to all who might challenge them. Their reputation grew, and soon their name became synonymous with both fear and respect. Theirs is a dark saga, a tale of brotherhood forged in violence, of power seized and held through sheer force. It's a real-life Game of Thrones, played out beneath the blood-red sunsets of the African wilderness. The Mapogo coalition set a new standard for what it meant to rule. Their legacy endures, unmatched by any coalition before or since, and their story continues to fascinate all who hear it. The Mapogos were more than just lions. They were the ultimate brotherhood, kings by force, whose reign changed the course of lion history forever. Scarface and the Mapogos represent two extremes, the lone warrior and the conquering army. Scarface's power was personal, built on years of solitary survival, his presence alone enough to deter challengers. His reign was a quiet testament to grit and intelligence, holding a prized territory against all odds. The Mapogos, in contrast, thrived on unity. Their combined strength allowed them to sweep aside rivals and expand relentlessly. Scarface's rule was defensive mastery. The Mapogos was aggressive conquest. Their territories reflected their styles. Scarface held a valuable patch for years while the Mapogos built an empire through force. Both strategies worked, one through endurance, the other through overwhelming power. Scarface inspired with individual spirit, the Mapogos with the might of brotherhood. Their stories show there's no single path to the top in the wild. Legends are forged by both the lone survivor and the unstoppable coalition. Picture this. Scarface, the legendary lone lion, standing his ground against the infamous Mapogo coalition. A dream scenario that pits Africa's most iconic lions against each other in a battle for the ages. The tension in the air would be palpable as the sun sets and the savannah holds its breath, waiting to see which legend would emerge victorious. In a one-on-one duel, Scarface's years of experience, sharp instincts, and unmatched cunning could rival the raw, explosive aggression of a Mapogo like Mr. T. Scarface was no stranger to danger. He had faced countless threats and always found a way to survive. Scarface had outlasted younger, stronger lions before, relying on his intelligence and strategic thinking to outmaneuver his rivals. His scars told stories of battles won and lost, each one a testament to his resilience and willpower. But the Mapogos were a force unlike any other. Rarely did they fight alone. Their true power came from their unity, their ability to move and strike as one. Together they were a storm sweeping across the plains, feared by all who crossed their path. Against all six Mapogos, even Scarface's legendary courage and fighting spirit would be put to the ultimate test. Surrounded and outnumbered, he would face a challenge greater than any he had ever known. Scarface would not go down without a fight. He'd unleash every ounce of his strength and determination, perhaps even taking one of the Mapogos down in a final, desperate act of defiance, a last stand worthy of his legend. Yet the coalition's relentless teamwork and overwhelming numbers would eventually overpower even the fiercest lone warrior. In the wild, unity and cooperation often tip the scales, proving that sometimes the group is mightier than the individual. This imagined clash is more than just a battle, it's a symbol of what these lions represent. Scarface, the indomitable individualist, and the Mapogos, the unstoppable brotherhood, each embody a different kind of strength. In the end, unity would likely win the day, but Scarface's spirit, his refusal to back down, his courage in the face of impossible odds, would never be forgotten. His legend would live on, inspiring all who hear his story. These legends endure because they capture the eternal struggle between lone resilience and collective power, reminding us that both have a place in the wild and in our imaginations. In the wild, both the solitary hero and the united pride shape the destiny of the savannah, but in the end, only one can rule at a time, and the story of their clash will echo for generations. Scarface became more than a lion. He was a global symbol of resilience and the wild spirit of Africa. His scars told stories of survival, inspiring millions and drawing attention to the Masai Mara's challenges. Scarface's fame helped spotlight conservation issues, making him an ambassador for his species. His peaceful death in 2021 was rare for a wild lion, marking the end of an era. The world mourned him like a hero, his story touching hearts far beyond Africa. Scarface's legacy is a modern fable of courage and endurance. He stands as the ultimate individual, proof that one lion's spirit can inspire the world. His legend will echo for generations, a reminder of why we must protect the wild. The Mapogo Coalition's reign redefined what lions could achieve together. Their brutal campaign wiped out rival bloodlines, ensuring their genes dominated the Sabi Sands. By eliminating threats, they created a period of stability, born from violence. Their actions forced researchers to rethink lion behavior, revealing new depths of strategy and cooperation. The Mapogos operated like an organized syndicate, each member with a role. leader, enforcer, soldier. Their story is a stark lesson in survival of the fittest, showing the power and cost of unity. They were not fairy tale kings, but ruthless conquerors whose methods changed the ecosystem. The Mapogos became the ultimate case study in coalition power. Their bloody legacy is a permanent, haunting chapter in lion history. Scarface and the Mapogos became global icons thanks to modern media. Photos and documentaries turned their lives into epic sagas, captivating audiences worldwide. Scarface was cast as the heroic survivor, the Mapogos as the ultimate villains. Their stories became irresistible dramas, one of triumph, the other of terror. Media coverage made them celebrities, drawing people into the wild's real-life struggles. Their legends now live on in digital archives, ensuring they'll never be forgotten. Technology transformed them from anonymous predators into symbols of Africa's untamed heart. Through media, their stories inspire and connect us to the wild like never before. Scarface and the Mapogo coalition sit on separate thrones in Africa's legend. Scarface ruled through resilience and spirit, the Mapogos through unity and force. Their stories offer two answers to the question of survival, one noble, one ruthless. Both are essential to understanding the wild's complexity. The true king? It depends on what you value, the lone warrior's courage or the brotherhood's might. The savannah was big enough for both legends. Their epic tales will echo across Africa for all time. In Africa's sun-scorched plains, legends are forged in blood and survival. Two names echo above all: Scarface, the lone king of the Mara, and the Mapogo coalition, a brotherhood that ruled by force. Imagine if these titans met, a solitary warrior versus a ruthless army. Scarface, scarred and wise, faces 6 Mapogo males, their roars shaking the wild. This isn't just a fight for territory, it's a clash of legacies and philosophies. Join us as we set the stage for a dream match, an epic showdown that exists only in our imagination. Scarface was more than a lion. He was a living legend, a symbol of survival and strength in the heart of Africa. His very presence commanded respect, and his story would echo far beyond the savannah. He was the spirit of the Masai Mara, a land where only the strongest endure. Scarface's silhouette against the golden grasslands became an emblem of wild Africa, embodying the untamed beauty and harsh realities of this iconic wilderness. His signature scar, earned in a brutal fight, became a symbol of resilience. It was not just a mark of pain, but a badge of honor, proof of battles fought and survived. Each scar on his face told a story of struggle, courage, and the will to keep going. Once part of the legendary coalition known as the Four Musketeers, Scarface was left to rule alone after his brothers vanished into the wild. The bond they shared was unbreakable, but fate had other plans, leaving Scarface to face the world as a solitary king. He survived by outsmarting rivals, defending his territory with cunning and grit. Every day was a test of his strength and intelligence, as he navigated the dangers of rival males, shifting alliances, and the ever-present threat of losing his hard-won kingdom. Scarface's reign was marked by endurance, fending off challengers, healing from wounds, and patrolling his vast kingdom solo. He walked miles each day, his body bearing the marks of countless battles, yet his spirit remained unbroken. Through storms and droughts he stood tall, a testament to the power of perseverance. He was a devoted father, fiercely protective of his cubs and the lionesses in his pride. Tourists and wildlife enthusiasts traveled from around the world hoping to catch a glimpse of the legendary Scarface. His fame brought people together, united in awe of his story and his strength. Scarface proved that true strength is not just muscle but wisdom and willpower. He adapted to every challenge, using his experience and intelligence to survive where others fell. His eyes, deep and knowing, reflected the wisdom of a king who had seen it all. His legacy endures, a solitary king who wore his scars with pride, inspiring all who heard his tale. Scarface's life was a reminder that greatness is forged in solitude, and that even in the harshest conditions, a true king rises above. In the brutal world of lions, his story remains unmatched, a saga of survival, resilience, and the indomitable spirit of a king who ruled alone, but was never forgotten. If Scarface was a king, then the Mapogo coalition was something far more terrifying. A force of nature, an empire built not on diplomacy or alliances, but on raw, unrelenting power. Their arrival in the Sabi Sand Game Reserve sent shockwaves through the African wilderness, rewriting the rules of what it meant to rule. The Mapogo coalition was an empire of fear, a brotherhood whose very presence struck terror into the hearts of all who crossed their path: lions, hyenas, and even humans alike. 6 brothers, Makulu, Rasta, Pretty Boy, Dreadlocks, Kinky Tail, and the infamous Mr. T, swept through Sabi Sand like a conquering army. Each lion brought his own strength and personality, but together they were unstoppable, a living storm that changed the fate of every pride they encountered. Their rise was swift and brutal. The Mapogos didn't just defeat their enemies, they obliterated them. Their strategy was simple: overwhelming force and ruthless efficiency. They annihilated rivals, killed cubs, and sometimes even lionesses, ensuring their bloodline's dominance. No coalition before or since has matched their ferocity. The Mapogos were infamous for their merciless tactics, often attacking without warning, leaving devastation in their wake. They were not just fighting for territory, they were fighting for absolute control. The Mapogos killed over 100 lions, controlled vast territory, and ruled 8 prides. Their reign stretched across miles of savanna, their influence felt in every corner of the reserve. No pride was safe, no rival coalition strong enough to challenge their dominance. Their name became synonymous with terror, even rangers spoke of them in hushed tones. Stories of their exploits spread far beyond Sabi Sand, becoming legend among guides, researchers, and wildlife enthusiasts. Rangers who witnessed their campaigns described the Mapogos as almost supernatural, ghosts in the grass, appearing and vanishing with deadly intent. The coalition's reputation grew with every battle, every pride conquered, every rival driven out or destroyed. Mr. T's aggression was legendary, his violence a warning to all. He became the face of the coalition's brutality, feared for his unpredictable rage and willingness to fight to the death. But their power came from unity, a brotherhood that trusted each other in battle. Their bond was their greatest weapon, allowing them to take on enemies that would have overwhelmed any single lion. The Mapogos changed the ecosystem, their reign a bloody chapter in lion history. Their actions reshaped the balance of power, leaving a legacy that would echo for generations. They were not just lions, they were a phenomenon. The Mapogo coalition's story is one of power, violence, and brotherhood, a reign of terror and blood that will never be forgotten. Picture a neutral savanna at dusk. Scarface versus the Mapogo coalition. The Mapogos, massive and united, bring overwhelming power. Scarface, lean and hardened by solitude, brings endurance and cunning. Scarface's stamina and experience could be an asset if the fight drags on. The Mapogos, used to quick victories, might struggle in a prolonged battle. But the numbers game is brutal, 6 against 1. The psychological battle would begin before claws are drawn. Scarface's unyielding gaze versus the Mapogos' collective roar. This is more than a fight, it's a test of what it means to be king. The stage is set for a legendary clash. Scarface's strength was his indomitable spirit and strategic mind. He survived by using his environment and exploiting weaknesses, reigning alone through sheer will. The Mapogos' power was in their teamwork, coordinated, relentless, and terrifying. Their unity made them nearly unbeatable, their brutality a weapon of fear. Scarface's weakness was solitude, no backup, every mistake could be fatal. The Mapogos' weakness was their dependence on each other. Separated, they lost their invincibility. Scarface was a master of survival. The Mapogos, masters of domination. Their strengths and flaws defined their legends. Imagine Scarface in his prime, a lion whose very name struck fear into the hearts of rivals. His dark mane, marked by the scars of countless battles, told the story of a survivor, a king who had faced down every challenger and lived to rule another day. Scarface was not just a fighter, he was a legend, a symbol of resilience and cunning in the unforgiving African wilderness. Now picture him facing Mr. T, the most ferocious of the Mapogo coalition, in a one-on-one showdown. Mr. T was infamous for his sheer brutality and dominance, a lion whose reputation for violence was matched only by his physical power. The air would crackle with tension as these two titans locked eyes, each aware that only one could emerge victorious. Mr. T, larger and more aggressive, would waste no time. He'd charge forward with overwhelming force, his roar echoing across the plains, muscles rippling with every stride. His fighting style was direct and merciless, aiming to overpower his opponent with raw strength and relentless aggression. Scarface, however, was a veteran of countless battles. He'd seen it all: ambushes, betrayals, and desperate last stands. Instead of meeting brute force with brute force, Scarface would rely on his agility and intelligence. He'd dodge, weave, and use the terrain to his advantage, always searching for an opening, always thinking 2 steps ahead. The fight would unfold as a deadly dance, raw power clashing with tactical genius. Dust would swirl around them as they circled, each waiting for the other to make a mistake. Every move would be calculated, every feint a test of nerve and experience. Mr. T could end it quickly with a decisive blow, his strength capable of breaking bones and spirit alike. But Scarface's resilience was legendary. If the fight dragged on, his endurance and refusal to give up might turn the tide, allowing him to exploit any weakness in Mr. T's relentless assault. In such a brutal contest, a single mistake or a lucky strike could decide everything. One slip, one moment of hesitation, and the balance could shift in an instant. Claws would flash, teeth would snap, and the outcome could hinge on a heartbeat. The odds might favor Mr. T's size and strength, but never underestimate Scarface's will to survive. He had outlasted rivals before, using not just muscle but sheer determination and a refusal to back down, no matter how dire the odds. In the end, the outcome would remain uncertain. Both lions could walk away scarred, battered, and bloodied, if they walked away at all. The savannah would bear witness to their struggle, the ground marked by the violence of their clash. This duel would be nothing short of brutal, a true testament to the power, intelligence, and indomitable spirit of both lions. It would be a battle remembered in legend, a story told by those who witnessed it, and a reminder of the harsh realities of life in the wild. In the wild, nothing is guaranteed. Every day is a fight for survival, and even the mightiest can fall. But for Scarface and Mr. T, their legacies would live on, etched into the very heart of the savannah. Now, the grim reality: Scarface versus all 6 Mapogos. This isn't a battle, it's a last stand. The Mapogos would attack in unison, surrounding Scarface and cutting off escape. Scarface would fight bravely, but the numbers are overwhelming. He might injure one, but the brotherhood would quickly overpower him. The wild is unforgiving. Unity triumphs over solitary courage. Scarface's end would be tragic, but the Mapogos' dominance would be absolute. It's a harsh truth. In nature, the group prevails. Scarface inspired a fear born of respect, a cunning, unpredictable king. Challenging him was risky. He was tough and fiercely protective. The Mapogos inspired absolute terror, an unstoppable force, a natural disaster. Their name meant death. Their presence reshaped the ecosystem. Facing Scarface was a dangerous duel. Facing the Mapogos was certain doom. Yet Scarface's legend was built on defying odds, a ghost in the shadows. The Mapogos were a nightmare you saw coming. Scarface was the threat you could never quite escape. Both left indelible marks, but their legacies inspired different kinds of fear. This battle is more than fantasy. It's a study in contrast. Scarface, the lone hero, stood for resilience and cunning. The Mapogos for ruthless unity and dominance. Their stories force us to ask, is true strength found in standing alone, or in the power of the group? Scarface inspires awe, the Mapogos, terror. Their tales are modern myths, echoing across the savannah. As we leave this imaginary battlefield, their roars remind us of the wild's epic dramas. The legends of Scarface and the Mapogo coalition will forever haunt the soul of Africa.